All right, everyone. Yesterday it was reported that Netflix had suppressed an episode of what's like a Patriot Act or something that was critical of the Saudi regime. They suppressed it in Saudi Arabia because the Saudi government was pissed off about the content. I'm thinking to myself, isn't this another reason why we need to not have censorship? Like, it's not just Netflix. I mean, this happens all the time. Twitter has taken down images, including among users that aren't in Turkey, that have been critical of Erdogan. That have displayed judges in Turkey in compromising situations. And notably, that time that court, I think, was attacked by Kurdish militia, and some of the judges, I think, got killed in that event. People had posted pictures of the hostage situation, and there was basically a Twitter brownout. We need to reestablish that the main communication structure the world needs not should be, not ethically should be, but absolutely 100% must remain a free place. Because otherwise you have problems like this. And think, Netflix, I mean, it's not like, Facebook or something, messaging other people, decentralized creation. But the on-demand structure, I mean, everything's becoming more and more meshed together. Cellular networks and on-demand content and independent content and platforming in various ways, they're all basically meshing together. It's like, what do you use your TV for? Do you watch cable on it, or do you watch on-demand or YouTube videos or something? Yeah, probably the latter. Most of you probably don't really watch cable. If you have cable at all in the basic sense, it's something you turn on in the background while you're screwing or working or doing whatever else. I know some people sleep with the TV on. I'm like, how the fuck can you do that? It's like the only thing that'll make me sleep. Yeah, noise is important to suppress, like the sound of cats meowing or whatever. A tree falling in the woods. I use white noise. I just use a fan. Never understood that. It's like, and some people will blast the TV. Like years and years ago, I knew someone who, they would have the TV on almost full blast. It was like a fucking wall of sound coming at them. I'm like, how? How does that lull you to sleep? But they were like extremely drunk, so that might have had something to do with it. No, I think that this should be dissuaded from happening whenever possible. You get a U.S. firm suppressing material because it's inconvenient to a foreign state. Now, haven't we been having a conversation about foreign states involving themselves in content that's being released to the public? Generally speaking, in the sense of more independent commentary, like tweets and stuff. Oh, these Russian bots. And, that one dude there, LinkedIn's co-founder, who attempted to interfere with the Alabama election there with Roy Moore, which is the only substantial election interference that's happened in the last few years that probably did swing an election. You don't have to like Roy Moore. He was cringy and overtly religious maybe, but he did get fucked. The Democrats did screw him over to the tune of $1 million worth of shilling from LinkedIn's co-founder. That came right from Silicon Valley, not from the Kremlin. And then you have situations like this where some company here in the West is bending over backwards for an authoritarian foreign state. It's happened with China too. Remember Google's Dragonfly project, their project to build a browser for China. China's like, yeah, Google can have a browser here. It's a huge market. I mean, we're hundreds of millions of people. Google's like, yeah, we want in. But we can't have normal Google because, we have to suppress certain results, number one, like human rights, Tiananmen Square, people's liberation, and stuff like that. Apparently, there are certain Chinese characters, like if you get a spam email from China and you put it in there, you're never going to get a spam email again because they can literally get investigated for having that, even in their inbox. Even if it was unsolicited, you can actually screw certain scammers over. I think someone was posting that. They're like, oh yeah, here in Japan we do that all the time to scammers. We find it hilarious. And it's really funny. They wanted to design a browser, right? The Chinese government said, okay, you can have that. Shit tons of money. Money hand over fist. More than you can ever make in the U.S. market alone. But you have to make sure that everything's personally identifiable so we can see what people are searching for. See, it ties into their social credit score system. And they're trying to import that idea, re-import it from China to here, because that was based on Facebook. Ultimately, China's social credit score bullshit was based on what Facebook has probably been planning for a half a decade. They just didn't talk about it publicly. What do we know about China? They compromise U.S. servers. They go after U.S. Social media platforms and everything else to gobble up data. Do you think that the Chinese got the idea from Mark Zuckerberg himself by hacking his shit? I think they did. I'm almost certain that they did. I bet it came from U.S. Silicon Valley long before China thought it up, probably years and years before. Netflix should be told. The U.S. government should come out and attempt to dissuade U.S. firms from doing it. Now, can we legally say, okay, you're not allowed to suppress this episode because reason? Not really. That's a lot like the anti-BDS sort of laws that are coming up. Well, you cannot be part of a movement, make a certain decision because it's foreign, because a foreign state is involved with it. So then why would a U.S. firm, why would the U.S. government not have a problem with them trying to suppress a Netflix episode or pictures on Twitter or something? It's the same thing. In fact, it's more harmful. It has nothing to do with a voluntary boycott at the post-individualistic level. It has to do with individual content creators possibly getting fucked by authoritarian censorship. So we got plenty of censorship here in the Western world at this stupid point in human history. I can't wait till it goes the way of the dinosaur like it always has throughout history. If you look at history, if you know enough about it, you can see it repeating all the time, and so you can get a better estimate of what's going to happen. Ultimately, this will keep happening. At least short term. Why? Because it's allowed to happen. So long as it's allowed to happen and there's no significant outcry or legal pressure, yeah, U.S. firms are going to bend over backwards to work in foreign states that have no free speech ideals, that have no free expression in a constitution or something, no free press, and they're going to keep doing stuff like this. And it's going to trickle down to the independent level you just watch. And my channel, my YouTube channel, suppressed in half a dozen countries. Videos aren't, generally speaking. Look, I get views all the time on my channel and everywhere else. I get views from fucking Iran, but my channel can't be viewed by the average German user unless they happen to be connecting through one of the other neighboring states or something. By the way, it affects people in like Poland and the Czech Republic, specifically because they all use German-run services, so they get screwed too. People in Poland and Italy increasingly saying, well, yeah, we can't access your channel. I can subscribe to you in a roundabout way, but I can't get notifications and I can't interact with the channel directly. I can just watch the videos. I can't even see your new uploads. I have to search for them and shit. It's rather interesting now, isn't it? That's about all. Peace out.